Ni hao ma. Welcome to another episode of Offside and on Tap with me, Tricky, my co-hosts, the Joker and Sting. I'm not much of a geek at all, right? Welcome to my humble abode. The idea for any new viewers, the idea of this is to talk about Premier League football, and dead easy, and then make 10 score predictions. That's dead simple, right? Wrong. It's proven very, very hard, as it has in the last 6-7 episodes. In fact, I've got more confidence in my lottery numbers than I have my score predictions right now. It's that difficult. So the other thing that I'll do in this show is I'll choose a beer of choice every episode to drink with the score predictions. Might give away potentially the beer of choice with the Chinese welcome that I just did there. This week I've gone for this little beauty. It's called Tsingtao. I actually remember, sadly, the first time that I had a drink of Tsingtao. Can't remember any family members' birthdays at all, typical bloke. But remember when I had a first bottle of Tsingtao on a stag do in a Wetherspoons in Birmingham on the way to actually Butlins in Minehead. That's when I first had a Tsingtao. Really odd to remember stuff like that. Typical bloke. It's actually a stag do, Minehead, Butlins, and end up dressing as George from Rainbow, which is a 90s TV programme for any of you that don't know that. Get you to Google it again. Got you to Google Louis Theroux last week. Google George from Rainbow. Your internet history is going to look really odd, but I guess no more odd than normal, lads. Right, let's talk about last week's games. So, by the way, cheers to everyone. I hope you're having a beer along with me as well. Unless you're watching in the morning, that might be a little bit of a problem for you. Last week's games, who said the Premier League was boring? Who said it? Not me. 8 goals scored in second half injury time, 5 of which actually affected the outcome of the game. Very exciting indeed. Unfortunately for me, one of those games was my lovely Newcastle United, and losing to Arsenal. Gutting. Sat at my granddad's playing Uno with the phone in the background with the game on. I didn't win a game of Uno either, so I was very unhappy on Sunday afternoon. More VAR debacles as well, including that game. Getting absolutely sick of the VAR nonsense, along with everybody else. Going to do a little video at some point about my ideas for VAR, what we should do. I think everyone's got the same sort of opinion as myself, actually, listening to professionals and all that sort of thing. Points scored last week. Yeah, like I say, struggle again. A couple of people commented. Thank you to top scorer Righty. You got 4 points with 1 correct score, which was that game Newcastle versus Arsenal. You got 2 on Arsenal. Myself, 3 points. 3 points, my favourite score. It seems 3 results correct, but no perfect scores. And I'll mention Lyndon as well. I'll mention you, buddy. 3 points for Lyndon as well for 3 correct results, no correct scores. So exciting. Lots of things went on. I'll get into it just now. So this is week 7 predictions with me, Tricky. So kicking off the weekend's football, we've got a special Friday night football on Sky. We've got Bournemouth at home to Fulham, 8 o'clock kickoff. Bournemouth, it's the best start they've ever made to a Premier League season. Absolutely fine. Still, the only game to have lost is against Liverpool in the first game. They got a late equaliser at Leeds. Battled hard to get the point, which kept them in the Premier League's top 4 at that point. Semenyo, free kick. Well, his free kick, fantastic. What can't this lad do? Honestly, he's multi-talented. He can run fast, he can dribble, he can pass. He can now score free kicks. Absolute fantastic. Signed a new contract in the summer. I said it before. A contract's not going to mean bugger all come, I don't think January, but certainly this summer. There's going to be top clubs lining up for him. I imagine with Man United again, we'll be looking for more players. It's not working out for them at the moment. And the likes of Liverpool maybe again coming in for him. Really impressive. Bournemouth very genuine contenders for European spots. They've not got any European football themselves this season. Can take advantage of that with fresh players every week. And I think they're going to do really, really well this season. Didn't particularly sense that at the start of the season, having lost all the defenders and the keeper that they did. But they're absolutely bossing it in the Premier League. They're doing really, really well. Fulham, on the other hand, they made a perfect start at Aston Villa. and they got the Villa fans moaning and groaning and got them really worried again. But the goal scorer, Jimenez, gets injured 5 minutes after scoring. And they'd already got Rodrigo Muniz injured and out as well. So their strike force wasn't at full strength. Villa sent Spud, and they actually got the game in the end with some good finishing, which has been something to hard come by for Aston Villa. But yeah, Fulham not getting the rub of the green in games, are they? They had a little bit of bad luck against Chelsea with the disallowed goal, and in this game they had a couple of potential bits of bad luck, in my opinion. Josh King penalty appeal turned down. He did get contacted, so yeah, I think it should have been a penalty potential there. And certainly the Matty Cash handball as well, preventing a shot on target. I just don't understand that. I know he's got his arm behind him and it's sort of out the way of the body, but it's managed to hit his arm outstretched. So should that be a penalty? Yeah, if it prevents a goal, it should be a penalty, certainly, in my opinion. And they've got another tough away test for them. Not done so well away from home. Coming to Bournemouth, it's another tough away test, and I fancy Bournemouth's athleticism and counter-attacking to overcome Fulham in this game. And they've got the X factor, they've got Semenyo. I'm backing Bournemouth to win this game 2-1. Next up, early kick-off, 12:30 on Saturday. It's Leeds versus Tottenham Hotspur. Fortress Island Road, hey? Fortress Island Road, not lost at home yet, Leeds. Fantastic for you. Did say very, very early on that your home games were going to be crucial for survival. Yeah, to a T, doing really, really well. It could have been a better result even against Bournemouth, 2-1 up till very late on. Unfortunately for Leeds, got the goal, Bournemouth. Pressed hard, late heartbreak, but still unbeaten nonetheless. I'm pleased for one Geordie at least over the weekend, and that was Sean Longstaff. A fantastic game for Leeds. Got one assist for the first goal and then scored the second goal as well with a great finish. And it's also one other thing that I noticed is he took 7 corners in the game for Leeds, and every one is on the money, something that Newcastle haven't had this season. Poor deliveries into the box. Sean Longstaff has shown him how to do it, and really, really good for Leeds in general as well. Finally making himself at home after not playing the first couple of games. So well done to Sean. Also, Leeds managed to get 8 shots on target against Bournemouth, where they'd only got 12 shots on target in the previous 5 games in total. It's a nuts and numbers game. I'm a sales guy. The more people you speak to, the more sales you make. In football, the more shots on target you have, ultimately the more goals you're going to score. Simple. So, yeah, take that advice for anyone out there. Play the numbers game, got rewarded. Tottenham, I still back them to beat Wolves at home, as probably everyone did. Probably a coupon buster. Despite their poor record against Wolves head-to-head prior to that game. Yeah, they got a late, again, one of the late goals, 94th minute, Palhinha. Embarrassing them. He's gone Ekitike-esque, taking his shirt off for an equalising goal against the bottom club in the Premier League. As a manager, that is so frustrating, because that yellow card may accumulate into more yellow cards. He's going to potentially miss a crucial game somewhere further on in the season. Just don't do it. Just don't embarrass yourself. I get it. Jubilation, scoring a goal last minute of the game. If he'd won the game, fair enough. But to equalise after not playing a great game at all, the club, the team, don't do it. Poor performance in general. They also managed to knacker my Tricky Treble. Not only them, the other games did as well. But knackered that. But if you'd have offered Spurs 4th place after 6 games at the start of the season, they would have snapped my bony hand off. So they're doing good. They're doing much better than last season, aren't they, under new manager Frank? This game, Leeds, I fancy Leeds to stay unbeaten, extend the unbeaten record at home at Elland Road against a very, very unpredictable Tottenham Hotspur. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this game. Arsenal versus West Ham, 3 o'clock kickoff. Yeah, Arsenal. Don't want to talk about this, but corner specialists, aren't they? And it helped them to beat Newcastle in the end on Sunday, just gone. 36 goals from corners since the start of the 23-24 Premier League season. That's 15 more than anyone else. So set piece specialists, Arsenal, very much. But yeah, after the frustration of the Manchester City game, fans not happy with the starting selection and the way that they played, not going for Manchester City at home. Probably not great for Newcastle to play them in the next game and face that backlash, because Arsenal were all over it, absolutely, especially in the second half. came at us and took late goals to do it, but they did it. Mikel Mourinho haunting Newcastle after he played for us a very long time ago when he was early 20s. And my early season prediction for Arsenal, I mean, I put them into 4th place, but the first 6 games, it's already looking like that's going to go to shit, to be honest. Especially with Chelsea, who I predicted to 3rd. They're not anywhere near Arsenal's level. It says a lot when your 3rd choice left back is Lewis Skelly. I mean, come on, they've got so many good players. So yeah, I think they're going to be above 4th place on early days. West Ham went and bloody stole my thunder, didn't you? I put a spoiler out there that after the game with Everton, Graham Potter would be gone. And lo and behold, before the game even comes round, go and sack him. Go and sack him after the Friday conference. Sack him on the Saturday morning before the game. Completely stole my thunder, so thanks for that, bastards. Players looked very, very reinvigorated on Monday night. Watched the game away at Everton. Everton playing really well at home at the moment, but West Ham played really well. The players were running around, battling hard, and when there were substitutions made, Nuno was greeting the subs, giving them a big hug, making the players feel a bit loved. I don't think they'd had that with Graham Potter. Very dull personality. Don't get him, if I'm honest, as a manager. Not everyone likes a hug and a bit of a love, but yeah, I think some of the players needed it currently. I really like the look of young Freddie Potts as well. When he came on, I think they were 1-0 down. Sat in front of the back 4, solidified that, allowed the other players, Paqueta, Bowen to move forward. Bowen scored another goal for West Ham. Such crucial player for you. But is he the next Noble for you? Yeah, certainly looks like he could be. Very young age, but yeah, I think he should get a run. I think he should get a run, especially with Ward-Prowse being dropped from the team as well by Nuno. But yeah, tough game to go to Arsenal and try and get anything Arsenal in this form. If West Ham pinch a goal, I think they'll be very happy and not concede too many. I'm going to go for an Arsenal 3-1 win here. Next up, from Old Trafford, Manchester United against my friends the Mackhams, Sunderland. 3 o'clock kickoff. Manchester United, I'm obviously not a big fan of Man United, caused me lots of pain as a Newcastle fan throughout the years, but even I'm feeling pain for the club, for the fans, just watching this giant of a club just falling into nothing. Absolutely horrific. I watched the game Saturday, had a rare Saturday off, watched the game against Brentford. Yeah, defending again, just horrific. First goal, hoofed over the top by Jordan Henderson, runs through Igor Jesus and scores. Route 1 football against Man United again. And then the second goal for me, even worse, because there's 4 defenders in the box, 1 player attacking it, and yeah, he puts the ball in from 6 yards on the second attempt, not even the first attempt. He hits the shot, keeper pushes it out, second one, again keeper can't keep it out, and it's a goal, 2-0. Oh, yeah, just madness. But then Man United have the chance to get back into the game, 2-1, and then get a penalty to go to 2-2. And this is a big sign for me of where the club is, because it panned to the fans in the crowd before the penalty is taken. I think they had plenty of time because it took 5 minutes to get the penalty taken. But any other club's fans at 2-1 down with a chance to score a penalty to equalise would be, yes, come on. You could see the energy, the positive energy. You've got Man United fans, you can't even watch. I don't know if they're copying the manager, because Amrim's been doing the same, but they've got their hands in their head. They've got a chance to equalise, and there's still time in the game to go and win it. So it just says a lot about where the club is for me. But unbeaten in 24 games, in the last 24 games against promoted sides, is a little bit of good news potentially for that, for you. But they're lacking real leaders on the pitch. Captain Fernandes, for me, is not a captain. He's a great player, but he shouldn't be captain. But then who else do you give it to? Because they had Maguire before, and I just don't see any leaders on the pitch. You need a leader to get that team up and pick them up, because there's no one in there. All young players, no guidance. Sunderland fans, more grief particularly on TikTok actually. And do you know what? I put the videos out on TikTok before the game with the predictions and get maybe 700-800 views. And then after the game, where I've got the prediction wrong, obviously I was wearing my Newcastle shirt in that episode, suddenly it goes up to 4,000 views. So it's like TikTok inviting abuse from the Sunderland fans for getting that prediction wrong. So thanks TikTok, love you. But yeah, to be fair, the banter's respectful. Sunderland fans, there's nothing personal. You're just giving me grief because I've not backed your team. wearing a Newcastle shirt. I'd do the same if someone with a Sunderland shirt, to be fair. But thanks for keeping it respectful. I've got to hand it to you. The spine of your team is holding you together. Fantastic. Your keeper, Royce, I mentioned before, really like him. Kept you in the game, kept you ahead of Nottingham Forest in the game. Xhaka again, fantastic. Absolutely balling. We know he's a baller anyway, but he's doing the job for you. He's a great leader. Isidore through the middle again. Bargain of the century for you, Sunderland, definitely. Big, strong team, physical team, and I think you'll probably be able to bully Manchester United for large parts of the game. But I can't back either team. I just can't back either team. Man United because they're just not very good, and Sunderland because it's Sunderland. So I think there's going to be some entertainment in this game though. I think it's going to be a good game, and I'm going to go for Desmond 2-2. Big game of the weekend for me, I think. Biggest game, Chelsea versus Liverpool. Saturday tea time, kick-off 5:30. These games are usually a little bit tempestuous, dating right back to early noughties, 2004, with the Champions League semi-final, and then 3 years later again in the semi-final. Great encounters. If you're too young and you weren't there, go back, watch them on YouTube. Very, very controversial moments in those games. Benitez versus Mourinho back in the day. Chelsea need to keep 11 players on the pitch. 2 league games in a row now where it's cost you dearly. First against Manchester United, Sanchez, and then in this game with Chalobah. We're winning the game and cruising at 1-0, to be fair. Red card happens and it all goes to shit for Chelsea, doesn't it? Contributed to losing that game again. Lack of defensive quality, and now Chelsea missing the 4 first choice centre backs. That's massive. Because, to be fair, 3 of those I probably don't rate us anyway. So, who are you going to bring in? You have to go into the bomb squad and pick someone out from there. Liverpool, your unbeaten 100% record went at Crystal Palace. I did have a feeling that you wouldn't win the game, back the 1-1 draw, but lost it late on with an Nketiah volley, which was superb. Some would say a little bit of karma because it happened after the allotted 7 minutes of stoppage time. So, bit of karma for those who've lost to Liverpool late on in the game, Newcastle being one of those. A little bit of payback, their medicine. But Liverpool back to full strength with Ekitike coming back, and full strength in attack with Ekitike coming back. He's got to play for me. Was on a great run before the suspension, after the 2 yellow cards making the red card in the League Cup. Isak's not full strength yet. I know everyone knows what he's capable of, but he takes a little bit of getting used to and conditioning to get up to full speed. So Ekitike will come back in, I would think, on a great run of goals as well. It's a good time to play Chelsea, isn't it? Because they've lost 3 of the last 4 games in competitions, only beating Lincoln in the League Cup. Lots of woes for them, and I believe it'll be an immediate return to winning ways for Liverpool in this Premier League game. I'm going to back Liverpool 2-1. Half time in the games. Let's have a half time refreshment. That's lovely. Right. Next we've got on Sunday, 2 o'clock kick-off, Aston Villa at home to Burnley. Ollie Watkins, he must have been watching last week, must have been on Offside and on Tap on YouTube. Said he lost his mojo and he scores his first goal in 9 games. So he's up and running. So Aston Villa, first win for them as well, and got them out of the bottom 3. They're not yet up to their full guise of scoring goals and attacking and playing really well, but ultimately for them last week against Fulham, it was the result that mattered. Got the 3-1 win in the end after going behind, and that's all that mattered. They just need to pull away from the bottom 3 now. Got a great opportunity here against Burnley at home. Burnley conceded only 3 goals less at this point than they did in the whole of the Championship season last year, so I did say it'd be a lot tougher for them, as everyone would expect, but yeah, it's proven really, really difficult to shut teams out. Always liked to struggle against Manchester City last weekend, and I did call it that they get battered. They got beat 5-1, and yeah, they've got to improve their ball retention. They really have. Passing quality has got to improve against the elite teams that they're playing against. It's only 74.5% passing accuracy. It's comfortably one of the lowest in the league, if not the lowest. They've got a good blend of experience in the team with Walker and Dubravka, but it's just not going to be enough for them. I still feel like they're gone. They are in the bottom 3 now. and yeah, I think they're going to struggle again away here at Aston Villa. I'm going to back Aston Villa to win this game 2-0. Next up, another 2 o'clock kickoff on Sunday. It's Everton at home to Crystal Palace, the second London team to visit Everton this week. It's a sign of how well David Moyes has turned the club around so quickly when, after drawing with West Ham, the fans actually booed them at the end. Now, that just shows to me that they've got a level expectation after seeing the team start, that they're expecting to win, and that's great. That means they're doing really well, because if you do draw a game, you still ultimately haven't lost, and the fans are booing, then they're expecting more, and because you're doing really well. Jack Grealish is the main man for Everton. He's actually created the most chances in the Premier League so far. Bear in mind he didn't play in the first 1 or 2 games either. 17 chances he's created, but he could do with a few goals himself now to go with his assists that he's bagged already this season, just to show his overall capabilities, getting back in the England reckoning. Big opportunity for him there. It'll help Everton's cause as well, of course. The Eagles have a very talented squad. Talent, of course, from the Eagles. If you didn't get that. They're terrible dad jokes, got loads of them. Superb performance, beating league leaders Liverpool and putting themselves, they were temporarily second place as well after that. Very late goal, and it was a great team goal from a long throw in into the box. Gay flicks it on, and Ketia volleys. Lovely to see, absolutely lovely to see, especially against Liverpool. They've got a really settled squad and really great formation. They play the wing backs really well, make use of them as attacking players, get them forward, overload in the wide areas. Really good to see. Something that Manchester United haven't perfected yet. Mark Gahey's probably glad to be still there, doing really well, doing well in Europe as well. It's going really well. He's got another season with them. I don't think he'll go in January. I think he'll probably see his contract out, give himself plenty of options at the end of the season. And I think possible top 6 finishes. I really do. I really think they've got a chance of that. Got to bounce the Europa Conference League and the Cup with the league as well. But I think they can do it. Really effective. Great manager. Both teams have got something to defend. Everton's unbeaten home start, and Palace have got their unbeaten Premier League start. The only team that's yet to be beaten. I think both teams will protect that. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And next on Sunday, another 2 o'clock kickoff. Got lots of games on Sunday at 2 o'clock. It's at St James's Park, Newcastle United versus Nottingham Forest. Both teams languishing in the depths of the Premier League table. Newcastle joint lowest goal scorers, very unlike Newcastle, and Nottingham Forest leaking goals freely. Bit of a funny story that's come out last couple of days. The club criticised by Karl-Heinz Rummenigge from Bayern Munich, and saying that that the club Newcastle are idiots for paying £69 million for Voltemade. Well, I say das ist nicht richtig. That is not true in German, Carl, because 3 goals in 4 games would say otherwise. So I think they're just a little bit better because they tried to sign him, put in much lower offers a couple of times and got rejected. So just a bit of bitterness, a bit of German bitterness there. Newcastle, yeah, home game. Got a great opportunity here to try and climb up the table from 15th. Not what we expected. Big Ange still winless as Nottingham Forest boss in 4 games. But I think but for the inspired Royce again in goals against Sunderland, they probably would have got a win there because he saved some absolute world-stopping shots. Fantastic keeper. I mentioned it before. Unfortunately for Ange and for Nottingham Forest, we did have to beat Sunderland in the second half, just couldn't score. Return to home club for Elliot Anderson. He's become a real midfield enforcer. I don't think we'd have seen this from him. He wouldn't be in the England team though if he was still at Newcastle, in all fairness, because he wouldn't have been getting the team up there. So for him, great move. It's working out for him. Unfortunately, it's not for Newcastle, but club's circling for him as well to sign him. I think again in the summer, if Nottingham Forest need the money, Man United have been linked. I mean, he's perfect fit for Manchester United and what they need. Absolutely fighting spirit, gets the ball, can do everything box to box midfielder. 11 goals in the last 2 league meetings between the teams, so lots of entertainment. Newcastle came out on the right side of those games, both games. It's another tricky tie for the tricky trees even. I'm going to go for us to win Might fall on my arse with that, but I'm going to go for Newcastle to win 2-1. Another 2 o'clock encounter, this time from Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Brighton. Wolves, 9 changes were made, 9 changes versus Spurs, and it proved effective. Got the first point of the season. However, it should have been 2 more. Left it very late, Spurs, to get that equaliser, like I mentioned before. Wolves hard done by. Held their own in the game. Equalled Tottenham in lots of the statistics, but should have won the game in the end. Got the equaliser against them. They've got winnable run of games coming up. They've got, after this game, they've got Sunderland and Burnley as well. So if they can get a couple of wins from these 3 and get a run going, then it could kickstart the season. They really need it. And Brighton, bonus 3 points really at Chelsea. Weren't in the game until the red card. Came out of nowhere. Got the 3-1 win. Danny Welbeck, he just keeps coming back for more, doesn't he? Veteran striker. Scored another couple of goals. Really, really good for the club. Bargain is turning out to be. It really has. But Brighton, only one of the last 18 games they've kept a clean sheet, which is a little bit of a concern for them. Usually pretty tight defence in previous seasons, but it's not been so recently. They have won the last 4 league visits to Wolves though, so that's really positive for them. And I feel like the Seagulls are going to escape. From the Wolves' den with 3 points. I'm going to back Brighton to win 2-1 at Wolves. And to round off the week's Premier League games, 4:30 kickoff, Brentford versus Manchester City. Brentford welcome the second Manchester club to the GTEC Stadium in a week. This is going to be a much tougher task than the previous one though. Manchester United sort of folded and gave in to Brentford. Brentford really impressed with the way they play. It actually reminds me, it's a bit of a throwback because I remember Stoke City in the noughties, came up from the Championship and had a really unique style of play. Long balls, long throws, Rory Delap. Anyone who remembers Rory Delap, showing age again. Sorry for the younger viewers. But it's a really, really effective way of getting the ball into the box. If you can't get the ball into the box with crossing and passing, get the long throws in the box. Do that. They've got a specialist coach for throw-ins in at the club, and they've got Kevin Sharder and Coyote from either sides putting those throws into the box. Really, really difficult to defend. A flat throw into the box. It's probably as hard as a corner, if not harder than a corner, for a goalkeeper, because it's coming at a flat angle. You can't get the height and get your hands to it. Players in the box in the way. Really impressive. Got the job done. A little bit of help from Man United's poor defending, but Thiago looks a real player as well up top. Considering they lost obviously Mbeumo and Wissa, he's come in and he's doing really well, scoring goals for the club. Manchester City lurking in the Premier League again, only 5 points behind Liverpool after Liverpool slip up, and they've got players coming back to top form. Haaland bossing the defenders again, bullying centre halves. Got Phil Foden back in the team, which is great to see as an England fan, of course. Dancing around players with the ball, getting into positions, scoring goals, creating assists. And obviously safe hand Donnarumma and goals as well. Disappointed he's conceded against Burnley though, I'm sure, in the last game. And 2 late Haaland goals, thank the Lord. Had a triple captain, fantasy Premier League on Haaland, and he comes up trumps in the 90th minute and 90 plus second minute, I think it was. Save my week, save my skin. These 2 teams, the top 2 teams in the Premier League for shot conversion. City 18.4%, Brentford 17.7%. But Brentford, the reason you're not up the table even higher is because you've had the joint fewest shots actually at goal. So again, I mentioned earlier about Leeds in the numbers game. Same for Brentford. The more shots you'll have, the more goals you'll score, and if you keep at that shot conversion rate, then you'll be fine this season. And MD89 will be very happy. Sunderland fan that loves Brentford. I'm guessing he loved that prediction last week. He or she, I don't actually know if it is a he. Better not be sexist. He or she, MD89, Major Deck 89. So watch this game be 0-0 draw, because I've just said they're both firing and shots at goal and scoring, but I fancy this to be a bit of a goal fest to finish the week off. I think City will stay in Liverpool's rearview mirror and leave the bee's nest with the honey ultimately. But it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be a close one. Brentford playing well. I'm going for Manchester City to score 3, Brentford to score 2 in a 5-goal thriller. and it's time for Tricky's Treble. So still waiting for that first win of the season. Went with the banker last week and they got let down by Everton and Tottenham. Thanks guys again. So going to try another banker this week. Well, say it's a banker, we'll see. Arsenal to beat West Ham, Aston Villa to beat Burnley, and Manchester City to beat Brentford. £5 stake with Ladbrokes this week. A little bit higher odds. Returns £15.35, so not a massive returns, but again, just want to get the pot started off. As ever, if I do manage to get that first win, half of the winnings will go to Dementia UK. So that would be a £7.68 donation in the pot for it. Once I've got a few little bets in, I'm going to start winning those. I'm going to go higher again and try and win the bigger odds, but at the moment I just need to get the ball rolling. And that's it. That's the end of this episode. Thank you for watching as ever. If you could do me a massive favour, if you can like the video, you can share it with friends on whatever social media you have got, and if you can subscribe as well, if you haven't already, that would be mega for me. If we get to 50 subscribers, I can start doing some live videos, going out and watching games and doing that, and just making my live thoughts clear. But more importantly, if you can comment your predictions and see if you can take on Tricky and beat my predictions. Not proving too hard at the moment, obviously. And then I'll announce the top scorer in the next episode. So we've got the international break after these games, so it's going to be a couple of weeks of not predicting, which is probably good for my health. Have a great week everyone, enjoy the football as ever, hope your team wins. Bye for now, cheers.